Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Covers. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Daniela Bleckner. I am an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We transform diverse writers into successful published authors. Over the last 9 years, coming up to 10 years actually, 10-year anniversary coming up. Over the last 10 years, we have published over 350 books. I've mentored over 1,000 authors, helping them to write, publish and distribute and promote fantastic books that educate, inspire, entertain, empower for generations to come. I'm absolutely passionate about what I do, running a platform for unseen, unheard authors so they can have their voices heard and stories shared. If you're watching, please do send this out. If you find this of value and worth, how can we not? Please do share this with your network. Oh dear. So what is this show about and why is it called Between the Covers? This show is really about getting up close and personal and finding out what goes on between the covers of writing and publishing a book. So on this platform, I interview some of our authors. Sometimes I interview authors who have self-published or perhaps they've been traditionally published to get you to really understand the different routes. I also interview people from the writing and publishing industry so you can find out what goes on between the covers of publishing a book. So today I have an awesome and amazing guest. Her name is Janet Edwards. She's not published just one book with us. This is her second book with us. Her first book was called Poetic Heart, Journey of Restoration. She's going to correct me there because I'm thinking about the new one that's come out. This was a few years ago now, and she's now publishing her second book, Poetic Heart, Journey to Freedom. Here's the cover here, beautiful cover. A little bit about Janet, or shall I bring her in to let her know so she can introduce herself? A little bit about the book. Poetic Heart, Journey to Freedom is a reminder that when life tries to knock you down, captivate your heart, and what ifs, or hold you in a place of unforgiveness, grace will bring freedom. As long as there is God, there is hope. Hope for a better today and a better tomorrow. Hope that God can restore, heal, and bring freedom to our hearts regardless of the circumstances. A little bit about Janet. We delve into this. Janet Edwards is an author of reminiscent poetry and an aspiring playwright. A very creative lady she is. And she's been capturing the hearts and imaginations of readers with her poignant work. With a talent for weaving words into vivid tapestries of emotion and hope, Janet's poetry explores the depths of the human experience, painting both the light and the shadowy facets of life with unparalleled grace. Please do send us some hearts, and you can also send us some stars. Stars help to support Conscious Dreams Publishing so that we can continue to bring out these interviews with these awesome and amazing authors. So stars are very, very, very welcome. Let's welcome Janet to the stage. Hey Janet, how are you doing? Let me just turn this music on.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Danielle?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm lying. I've got a really bad headache on this side, but we're going to get through this interview. We're going to get through it.
We're going to
So your book, Poetic Heart, Journey to Freedom, is coming out very, very soon. How do you feel?
It's exciting. It's next week, actually. It's come around really, really quickly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a journey, as the book suggests. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. It's exciting. And it's book number 2, as you mentioned earlier on. So that's really, really exciting. That's like, wow. So it's happening very soon.
It is happening. So Poetic Heart, we've got Journey to Restoration. Am I correct there?
So the first one was Restorative Journey.
I should know. I knew it was Restorative Journey. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Restoration Journey.
And the second one is Poetic Heart, Journey to Freedom. Let's talk about the title. The first bit, the title, Poetic Heart. Why did you choose this, and what does this mean to you? Hey, Ali Pally, nice to see you.
Okay, so Poetic Heart. It represents who I am. So I love writing poetry. I've been writing for years and didn't really actually recognize it as much. Just like, I just write. But it just takes me through so much. Like, it takes me through so many situations when I'm just feeling ugh, when I'm feeling yay. Writing just is good. So, like, for me, poetry just comes from my heart.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's who I am. Poetic heart.
Is that something that you've always done? Have you always written poetry? And when was the first time you realised you had a flair for words and artistry in that way?
I've been writing for like over 3 decades now.
Wow.
Ooh, 3 decades. That sounds like a long time. When did I realize? So initially, I wrote for years and just wrote and didn't share it with anybody. I don't actually recall the first time I was asked to share poetry, but every time I was asked, people were like, "Oh, you can do this quite well, actually." And then as time went on, people were like, "Have you thought about writing a book?" It's like, no, absolutely not. No, I have not thought about it. No. So yeah, it just kind of came. So yeah, I'd say like 3 decades, but then there's when I began to share, and that was really scary. So that's what, for me, that was a really scary moment of sharing what I'd written, because it's so personal and not everybody's going to get it.
Yeah.
But so that first sharing was just like, but then, as I've shared more of my poetry, I recognize that, and it touches people. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah. So that's, I kind of realized about 3 decades ago, but I didn't share.
So what was that kind of that pivotal moment that made you realize, you know what, I actually need to share this because other people can benefit from that? What was that initial push?
Okay, so then I had like I'd written lots of poetry, and I'd had them in books and bits of paper, and I decided to type them all up, and I realized that I had like over 100 poems, like well over 100, and I was just like, okay, so what are you going to do with them? Are they going to just sit on your laptop? So around 2015, I thought, yeah, I'm going to write a book, and I began to make inquiries, and then I chickened out. And then eventually, I think I came to you in 2022. So so imagine it took 7 years really for me to actually pluck up the courage to say, right, okay, I'm actually going to share this with the world. And then, yeah, it was just a matter of it. It felt like I got to a point where just like I had no more excuses. Like there was no reason not to do it. It's like, well, what's the reason? Like, it was affordable. There's somebody there that's going to help you,
Knock down all your barriers.
Yes, like, think of an excuse. Come on, be poetic, think of something. And I was like, I can't. So it was like, I actually cannot think of an excuse not to do this. So it was a matter of like, I have to do this. So yeah, and then I think, because then it was just that after coming out of lockdown, and that was, that really changed a lot. I think that whole, it's like nearly, what's 5 years ago now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The whole period, it's gone so quickly, but the whole period kind of reframed how I was thinking and how I was feeling, and it kind of it really encouraged me to be like, well, if not now, when? So that was so that was definitely the pivot in terms of like, okay, we need to do it now.
There's no excuses, no more excuses. I love that. When you run out of excuses, then you have no option but to publish.
Exactly.
If you've just tuned in, I'm Daniela Bleckner, author, book journey mentor, founder of Cottage Jews Publishing. I'm speaking with the awesome, amazing Janet Edwards, author of 2 books. She is also a poet and a playwright, very artistic and creative. We'll crack into that in a bit. She's published, her first book was called Poetic Heart. Restorative Journey.
You've got the new book in mind.
Exactly. Restorative Journey. Second book is Poetic Heart, Journey to Freedom. I have the test cover here. I don't have the actual book just yet. It's going to be out on the 25th of February, so you can get a copy of the book in the link. I'm very excited to crack in to talk about it. So we've spoken about where Poetic Heart came from. Why this book, Journey to Freedom, and what does freedom mean to you?
So for me, the journey to freedom was that place where I could actually be myself, and also where I could let go of the past. So not holding on to unforgiveness, not holding on to what happened and what they did and what they didn't do, and just being free from all of that and recognizing that actually it doesn't matter. Like, things happened and it wasn't nice, but it doesn't matter now, and I cannot allow it to continue to hinder me, continue to hold me in a place of just kind of like existing as opposed to living. And it just got to the point where it's just like, for this book, although it's called Journey to Freedom, one of the big elements in here is really forgiveness for me. But it's that letting go. It gives you such a freedom when you can actually say, actually, it's okay. It's okay. Things happen. Yeah. And just to be free from not, ruminating on what had happened in the past, and that feeling of rejection, and that what happened in childhood, and like it was just letting go of all of that has just been amazing. And a part of the journey was also me qualifying as a counsellor, and that journey itself opens up so much in terms of who I am and what it means to be free and to be able to connect with myself and not be disconnected, and not kind of like I'm living over here but Janet's over there somewhere, and just having that freedom just to be me. So Journey to Freedom, definitely. And it's a journey.
It is, because the forgiveness isn't just a one-time event. It's sometimes it's consistent, so I love that you sort of summarize that freedom is about forgiveness, and that letting go creates a sense of forgiveness in ourselves, because when we're holding on to that, we're almost poisoning, we literally are poisoning ourselves.
Absolutely.
And also the freedom to connect to others. So I love that. Do you have, because you're very sort of, your poems are very faith-based. Can you talk about a little bit about your faith, and what kind of strengthened your faith?
Oh my gosh. So my faith is center of who I am. So looking back on all the things I've been through, if I didn't have my faith, I actually don't know how I would have been able to stand, how I would have been able to just be. I always look and I think, how do people manage to live life without God? I don't even know how it happens. It feels so alien to me. So faith is the center of everything that I do in terms of writing. It's the center. And my poems they're very faith-based, because within the deepest, darkest place that I've been, the one thing that has always been consistent has been God, and has always been his love, and always been that little still voice that will just remind me that there's more, there's hope, I've got you, I won't leave you, you're precious, and those little words that just keep on coming and keep on coming, and hold me in times of challenge, hold me hold me even when I don't want to be held, that faith, that where I'll be like pulling my hands back and saying, don't go away, leave me, and he still reaches his hands out and still just hold his hand there until I'm ready just to like put my hand in his hand again. And I just it's amazing. So I literally
all right, that's we've got a Macman here who's saying, can you read one of your poems? Okay, all right, would you like to read one of your poems, Janet?
Okay. Let's do it. I'm gonna read the first one, actually. Okay. It's nice and easy. It's called I Am. I am the rose of Sharon. I am the lily of the valley. I am supreme. There is no one like me. I can take nothing and create something. In me you live with a heart that is content. I am the first and the last, end and beginning. I know you intimately, beginning to end. You cannot surprise me. Impossible. There is nothing I cannot do. The things that I've done for David, I can do so much more for you. I just need you to trust me and not to fear. Call me when you need me, Jehovah. I will always be there. That's that one.
The clicking. That's beautiful. I think it's a really beautiful poem to start your poem with, your book with, sorry. The beginning and the end. Talk to us a little bit about that poem, what that means to you. Macman's giving some stars here.
Thank you. Okay, so it's important for me to start with the essence of the book. So for me, Jehovah stands as I am whatever you need me to be. I am that person. And just some of his names, you know, the Rose of Sharon, the Lily of the Valley, Supreme. And what I love is the fact that where he says, I can take nothing and make something. And I think creation, I look at creation and I like gardening, and I just the intricacies of little teeny seeds and how something just blossoms from this seed, and I find it absolutely amazing. And the fact that he can look at me and say, I know your end from your beginning to end. I literally know everything about you. Because there was a time when I thought that I could actually surprise God. Literally, like, no, you can't surprise me, Janet. Where it's just like, and there's times when I thought that I'd done things. It's like, no, that is it. He literally will not have anything to do with me. But it's just like, actually, no, you can't surprise me. I know who you are. I knew what you were going to do, and regardless of that, I still love you. And what I need you to do is just trust me. Don't be fearful. Don't be living this life in a fearful state, but just trust me. And when you need me, call me. And when you call me, I will be there for you. And it's just the essence of, for me, who God is to me is the great I am. Like, he will be there, has always been there, will always be there.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Would you like to read another poem, Janet? I'm all for listening.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's.
But just meanwhile, I just want to say hello there. Lee is showing his appreciation here. Watching on YouTube, we've got Janine Joy. Hello, Janine J. Hello. Mike Mad saying that is faith. Exactly.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, so I've got one called His Love Goes On. He can heal your broken heart, recapture the pieces, restore them to where they're supposed to be, realign and focus your life. He knows every strand of hair on your head. You are worth more than 1,000 rubies, all the gems in this land, sapphires, diamonds, and the list will go on. Never think he doesn't love you just because of the things that you have been through, or even because of the things that you have done. Because God's love goes on and on, then it goes on and on again.
It's lovely. We've got Ali Pally here. I know she can't comment because she's driving, but she published a book with us called Downloads from Heaven. And she also talks about that part from scripture of like, you are more precious than 1,000 rubies. I think what would you want, especially sort of young women, to take from that? Because often we are conditioned to measure our self-worth against something external, you know, rubies, diamonds, in the latest Instagram post of some model, for example.
For me, that knowing that I am created by God and that he's created me the way that I should be, the way I am, this is who I am, and just knowing that he loves me the way I am, and that he knows everything about me. The fact that he says that he numbered the hairs on my head, he knows the numbers of hairs on my head, and I lost a couple today, so those he knows what is.
Not stressing out over this interview, I hope.
No. I hate to say it online, but one of my flats came out, and there you go. But anyway, so had a few strands in it, and he knew. He was like, oh, there goes 1,000,005. He knows. But I think it's really important for us to measure ourselves up against the Word of God and who He says we are. He says that, you know, especially as women, you know, we're precious in his sight. We're not to be subdued. We're not to be oppressed. We're precious. He loves us. We're his daughters. And, you know, we can go to him as a loving father. And we just need to find ourselves in him. We're unique. So I think one of the best things you can do, especially if I could tell my 20-year-old self this, it will be, do not compare. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. Not that thing of, but they do this and they can do this and I can't do this and I can't do that. What is it that you can do? What is your unique point? What's your selling point? What is it about you? And it doesn't have to be anything, you know, big, it could be the smallest little thing. It could be that someone says to you all the time, "You've got such a lovely smile," or "Oh, you really brighten up the room when you walk, when you walk in the room," or "You've always got kind words to say." It doesn't have to be like anything major, but it's find what he's made you to do. What has he put you on this earth for? And also there's that thing about, in our hearts, often there's things that we want to do. There's things that we find, that we would love to do. Like, I love writing. And sometimes the things that we love to do are not valued in maybe society. So it's just like, "Oh, you write. Okay." But and sometimes we feel like we don't want to say what it is we do because it feels like it doesn't compare. It doesn't feel big enough. It doesn't feel great enough. You've got people who've got the great gifts of helps. Like, they are the most helpful people. Like, if you need anybody in your corner, I'll ring that person because they're going to be there to help you. That's an amazing gift. There's some people that, that is not a gift for everybody. Not everybody has that gift. So it's about really just finding yourself in God. Who has he created you to be? And be that person unapologetically. Just be that person and allow him just to guide you.
Beautiful. Thank you. It's really interesting because I was having a conversation with somebody. She's actually going to be interviewed next week on the show. And I'm going to be part of her event for International Women's Day. And the subject is redefining success. What is success? And we were saying one of the things is, especially maybe men as well, young women especially, because comparison, when I went to college, I dropped out of college 3 times. I just found it really difficult. And then I felt like I missed the boat and I was wasting time because I lacked direction. I had so much I wanted to do and achieve. And I was watching my friends go to college and to uni. They're following this linear line and I was just finding my way. But actually in that, through the struggle and through the challenge, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now because I believe we're all destined to do something. And I will never forget how I felt as that young person. And I do believe that God puts in these challenges and these things for us to find what that gift is. And it's not always a linear thing. It could be a gift that you find in a challenge that you have that you thought you didn't want, So that's a really good confirmation today.
Absolutely, that's so true. I like the way you said that it's not linear. And again, we've all got our experiences, we've all got our journey, we've all got our lived experiences, and our journeys are very different. So it's a journey, but your journey looks different to my journey. Some people's journey looks really, really smooth, and some people's journey are very rocky, but they're journeys. And we always learn something in a journey.
Exactly. Hence, Journey to Freedom. Get your book. This is the wrong colour, but get your book, Journey to Freedom. Poetic Heart, Janet Edwards. You can get it from the Conscious Dreams bookshop. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it on Waterstones. All online retailers you can. But if you want to really support Janet, get it from the Conscious Dreams bookshop because royalties are 3 times higher when you buy directly from the author. So we've got quite a few comments here, so I'm going to go through these. Dwayne says, amazing. Hey there, Dwayne. We've got Magman says, it's like the book of Proverbs. I think that's when you're talking about the rubies. Yeah. Dwight says, hands yellow, heart red. Does that resonate with you? I'm not sure.
I don't know, actually.
We'll come back. Dwight, let us know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Lisa, amazing. All women are angels, in my opinion. We like you, Mank Man.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Michelle's showing some love. Mank Man says he loves this. Fantastic. My life's been one hell of a journey. Yeah, I think I know about some of Mank Man's journey. Definitely from what I've read from your manuscript. I'll buy one. Oh, bless you. You can get a copy in from the Conscious Dreams bookshop. The link is in wherever I think you're in YouTube, so it will be down below. And if you're watching Facebook, it's up. So, Janet, what would you say is Glenn? I know who you are, Mank Man. I know it's Glenn. I figured it out. So, Janet, what would you tell your younger self then, in retrospect? Now being where you are now, author of 2 books and stronger in your faith.
Simply don't give up. It's got to be don't give up, and don't discount. Things go wrong, things happen, but never just say that, okay, this is it. I can't. I went back to study when I was in my 40s to be a counsellor. I was never really good at school because I was creative. So I wanted to do sports and just play about. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to paint. I didn't want to do maths. I didn't do that.
No one
So
does.
yeah, so I found school quite challenging. So I would just say, just follow your heart. Don't give up. Just keep on going. Basically, when you fall down, and it is a when, because it's not a matter of if. It's not if. It's going to be when you fall down. Get yourself back up as quick as possible. Don't stay down there for too long. Get back up, and know that you can get back up, because sometimes you're down and it feels like you just cannot get back. You're looking around for some kind of support, like what can get me up. You can get up. Just look up and just cry out, God help, and he'll get you up.
There you go. So it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, as long as you get up. Thank you, Janet. So, if anyone's got any questions, you can throw them in very quickly. We've got about 5-10 minutes left of the interview. But do you have any plans, Janet? Because I don't think you had a book launch for your first one. What's next for you? And will you have a double book launch now?
Yeah, I'm going to have a double book launch. Do you know what? The first book was really just getting it done, because it was such a challenge. It's just like, I don't want to do it. I can't. So it was just that whole thing of just doing it. Like just do it, and just seeing it, and just be like, okay. And then I'd at that point I'd planned that I was going to do a second one, and at that point I intend to do a double book launch. So yes, I'm looking at dates in May. I don't have I want to do 25, but I'm waiting for the venue to confirm. So yeah, there's going to be a double book launch, and hopefully I'm going to be starting on book 3.
Ooh, exciting! All right, well, we're here for it. So, yeah. And is it open to the public? And will you be putting information out?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll definitely be putting the information out. I'm not great on social, but I will do my best to.
I'll share it, and I'll
get it out there. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be open. Yeah, it's going to be lit. It's going to be basically just a bit of a party, really.
Okay. So 25, great date, ideally, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get it.
She said it here first. You've got a question here. Magman's asking, how long has it taken you to write this particular book?
This one took about, I want to say about 7 months to write. There were some pieces that I had, but about 7 months, I would say, in all. In between the going back, one of my accounts got dropped off. We won't talk about that, but yeah, about 7 months.
Okay, all right. So I missed said something about accounts, but we'll leave it there.
My email. Remember my email, because I was emailing and I was like,
your email account.
Yeah, my email account. Yeah, my email account went down, and I was just like, and so that I caused the delay. But yes, it would have been because Danny's on.
You're all right.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my account. I don't know what happened. My account just stopped working, and anyway. But so Danny's on it. So yeah,
everything in its time.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people in the midst of writing a book and like, oh gosh, is it good enough? What can I do? Where do I go? Is this worth me continuing doing?
Oh, it's worth continuing. It's definitely worth continuing. I would say, get someone like yourself to read it, to get involved. Go to somebody, a professional, get somebody to read it. But if it's coming from you and if you believe in it, go for it. And I have to tell you that in the midst of it, because even in the midst of it, there is that voice that tells you this isn't good enough. What are you doing? Who are you? What do you mean you're publishing a book? Don't be ridiculous. And I got that imposter thing the whole way through. It's like, can I do this? No, I can't do it. No, let me just stop. Yeah, that voice is going to come, but just keep pushing on through. Push on through. It will happen. And like Danny just said, everything in its time. Because sometimes we have a time like, I've got to get it done by this time. But then there's things that may happen that will help and feed into what you're writing and make it that much more rich. So, just sit with the process and just keep on doing it. Just chip at it day by day by day. Take it moment by moment. But I would say definitely don't stop. Do not stop.
Brilliant advice. Thank you so much, Janet. It's been absolutely amazing speaking with you today. How can we, because you're definitely much more involved in social media than in 2022. So this is a very, very key part of progress now with your promoting. So it's brilliant. Where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so now you're asking. That's a really good question. So on Facebook, I think I come up as Janet Edwards on Facebook.
Edwards, yep.
On Instagram,
is it the real Janet Edwards?
I do believe it may well be. I think it may well be the real Janet Edwards. I actually, if listen, I need a social media consultant.
All right, I can help you out. It's the real Janet Edwards.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank
you.
All
right. No problem. Thank you everybody so much for watching. You can get a copy of Poetic Heart Journey to Freedom, as well as Poetic Heart Restorative. It's because I can't say the word restorative journey. Restorative
journey.
Restorative. I just can't. I'm so sorry. You can get a copy of these books from the Conscious Dreams bookshop if you want to support and get a signed copy and allow Janet to have more royalties than if she's selling on Amazon or any other platform, which is always helpful. But again, it's available from all retailers. If you found this of value and worth, how can you not share it out? Get a copy of the book for yourself. Get a copy of the book of the book. I can't speak of the book for a friend. All right. You can join me next week, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST, where I'll be interviewing the awesome and amazing Palmer Black. She's the founder of Soul Purpose 360. Janet, you should check this out. She's doing an event in Holloway Road, Islington, I think. I think it's in Islington. I'll be there on a panel. It starts at 9 o'clock. It's from 9 till 5. I'll be there just talking about success redefined. So some of what Janet and I were speaking about. And there'll be lots of amazing speakers there. Workshops, stalls. You can buy books on my Conscious Dreams bookshop stall. But you can find out much more about it next week, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST, where I'll be speaking with the founder herself. Have an awesome evening, people. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.